Hi all, this is going to be my entry into the ISM 6 or more wheels group build. As you can see, it's actually got at least 7 if we count the spares. Oops. It's a Revell kit, 1/35th German staff car G4. I actually have a figure for this, and I've forgotten it. A general to sit in the back seat. I'm going to do this one that's going to be used in a diorama later on with my entry into the Cohen's Tiger SIG in the new year. But on with this. It's just Revell's stuff on the back. It's the open end box. I prefer the open top, the shoebox style, but what can you do? And this one is a level 5 kit, which, let's see if this will zoom in. According to them, or Revell, difficult models with over 100 parts requiring a very high level of skill. Well, 150 parts, their heads must spin if they look at a Dragon kit. They give you some background on the car, a couple of nice shots. Let's see. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to paint this, or what colors I'm going to use, and how I'm going to paint it. The interior is going to be a challenge since it's open top. Looks like they're doing a reasonable job on the motor, which won't be seen. And there's another one. Where did the background go? They gave a background of the beast. I can't read over top of the camera, so I'll let it get out of focus. From 1934, the 6-wheeled G6 cross-country vehicle was primarily built for the German Army and was available as a 7-seat touring sedan or saloon. That's sedan for North Americans. The German Chancellor used the G4 mainly for representation purposes, or as a staff car for high-ranking military personnel. In the first 3 years it had a 100 horsepower 8-cylinder inline engine that accelerated up to 67 kilometers per hour. From 1937, a 15 horsepower more powerful engine was used, which had already begun to being replaced by a 110 horsepower engine in 1938. The unsynchronized 4-speed gear box transmitted the power optionally to the 4 rear wheels or all 6 wheels. This thing must have been pretty good off-road, or at least in the slush and crap. Anyway, let's put that aside. I already took everything out of the box, just didn't want to fight at the end. And what you get is a set of instructions in a couple of different languages that says don't eat it, don't stick it in your eye, blah blah blah. If you do eat it, chew it 50 times or your poop will hurt coming out, type thing. And use lots of ketchup. What was floating around loose in the box is the decals, or decals. Reasonable quality. I'm not sure what the IA prefix on the license plates is for. I guess I could check the instructions. And I'm less than amused that Revell has had to go along with the German laws and remove all the swastikas from the flags. There's clearly something that size would cause great offense. And we'll take a quick look at the instructions. Again, it's got the same thing that was on the side of the box. From 1934, blah blah blah. Now, one thing I have noticed in a quick look through the instructions, the box art shows it with all the side windows down. Remember that, we'll get to it. Because every time they show the model, the windows are up. And that may be an issue later on. We've got a pretty good hodgepodge of instructions to cover things such as glue, number of working steps, I guess that's if you've got to repeat, adhesive tape, Soak and apply decals. Yeah, let's get this a little bit better. Recommended for the affixing of decals. That's the decal soft one. Optional. Allow the parts to dry. Illustration of assembled parts. Sequence of assembly. Repeat the same procedure on the opposite side. Squares for clear parts. They recommend their own glue, of course. And bend. Fairly long instruction book. The color callouts, I guess, is for their own brand. And then the actual name that you would call the color in a couple of different languages. Sprue map, everything's numbered. Not a whole lot of parts in this. Let's get some light on that. The A sprue, B sprue, C, E, which is a half one, and then D for the clear. First chunk of instructions are for the motor, frame, suspension, as you would expect. In some cases, there's only like 2 pieces going on in a step, so the number of steps doesn't matter. Same with this one, it's only a handful of parts going on. Now, this, at least they've done, that's a lot of fiddly little bits. At least they've done that as its own step, but I'm pretty sure they could have just cast that in 1 if not 2 pieces and still had the same detail. Next page. So it looks like 26 steps, but again, they're short steps to get the frame, motor, well, all the running gear together and the tires on. And then it's on to the body. I seem to have 2 disappointments with this kit. One, can you see it there? Yep. These are the actual sides. Sorry, with the bodywork as shown here. And there's no way to have any of the doors open. They've all got to be closed. There's only 2. It's almost like a minivan. The back seat has to enter out sort of a middle door. And the other problem I have, aside from not being able to open the doors, is it back one? Yeah, it's back one. When I take a look at the same picture, they seem to be indicating they've put holes in as guide holes for the windows or the glass on the side. So I'm going to have to take a look and figure out if I can fill those and do a reasonable job of filling them, because I want the glass down. And again, more stuff, seats, the spiffy rally lights or whatever they are, headlights. This one will be interesting for me, because if you take a look, it really does need some chrome, and I haven't worked with any of that buffable paint or anything like that yet, so I'm going to have to give that a go. And again, what I was saying about the side doors, people in the very back have to squeeze out the rear doors, which are actually middle doors, like a minivan. So the build itself looks relatively straightforward. It's just the windows, the lack of being able to open the doors I can live with. filling the windows shouldn't be a problem. But again, doing a reasonable job with the chrome is going to be a challenge for me, and that's nothing to do with the model, it's just not something I've done yet. And these are the options that we have for painting. Staff car for the Field General, 1941 to 45. I had a quick look at the color callouts, and I believe that one's sort of a light gray. Almost a German or Panzer gray. I think they all are. Staff car for the Field Marshal of the Luftwaffe, which I think was Goring, so maybe it needed the extra axles to haul his fat butt around. And then a staff car for the Commander-in-Chief of the Weimar. That one's got an IA prefix on the plate. I don't know if you can see that. Shadows. Commander-in-Chief gets IIA. And Field Marshal gets the regular WH Army license plate. So, all the parts come in one bag. And it's one of these resealable ones. Hold on, 2 minutes. With a lot of access on it. So, one of the fenders is popped loose from its sprue. It's only being held on by one point just now. Not a great sign. Hopefully it's not bent. The windshield wipers are molded in. Can we zoom in? Let's get in like this. Not great for detail, but it's a whole lot easier to get the glass in after I've done all the painting and saves masking the glass. I'm not seeing any horrible flash. There may be some hidden away where I can't see it. I'm just going to leave the clear parts in. But they're pretty clear. I said I think the windshield and headlights hopefully will be the only ones I need to use. Oops, shouldn't have done that. They do have little peg posts at the bottom. Let's zoom in on them. Too dark. Which I can't figure out which part they would be on. Suspension, gear shift, steering wheel is what I see here. Again, no major defects. Not that I would know them unless they're glaringly obvious. Nothing seems broken. Stuff like that gear shift, that's going to be a fun one to get off the sprue without cracking it or breaking it. It seems to be mostly the interior motor. Let's clear some of this away. Be gone. It's blocking a lot of light. Some seats. No ejector pin marks. I don't know if the exposed areas I can see. Again, that may change. I can't tell if I'm looking at the top or bottom of some of these. Still haven't seen any excess flash. And the wheels. That's a little odd. I'm assuming that's the back. We're plugging that in to the back. They're using, I guess, what are supposed to be the drums or discs to actually do the mounting for you. So you have to do a reasonable job on the back of these rims in order to get everything to settle in straight and true. That's interesting. This is missing the centerpiece. I don't know why, but it's making the sprue a little bit more flexible than you would like. Fortunately, there's nothing too big and there's nothing that runs over that line that can be warped. That's a little strange. And clean. Not super detailed on the front of those rims. Slightly dull, not the crispest molding I've seen. Crispest. I said Christmas. Or in case I said Christmas. Tread looks good. That split is not too bad. It'll sand right out and look decent. Anyway, that's going to be my entry. That's it for all the sprues, the instructions. I'll do an update or two. It just seemed a whole lot faster to videotape this than take all the pictures and upload the pictures 3 at a time on Photo Bucket. So take care, have a good day, bye.